Hi everyone, it's my goddess Chrissy. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. The ancestors gave me this topic to talk about, and there wasn't anything that significantly happened to me, so I'm not sure why they wanted me to talk about it. But when the ancestors advised me to do something, I do it. I know there's a higher purpose and a higher reasoning for it, which they're telling me will be revealed down the road. I'm going to be doing a reading on racism and how to heal it. I've experienced racism before once that I can recall, and it was actually when I went to college. Now, a lot of people, when they think about racism, they think about, black and white. But there are many races who get discriminated against in different countries, including the United States. Obviously, that's the one that we really are aware about. But yeah, I experienced this in college, and it was basically, from my point of view, it was just a feeling like these people just weren't used to being around black people. And that sometimes that's just the case. Some people come from an area whereby they don't see a certain race quite often. So what happens when you're not, I'm trying to find the words here. What happens when you're not aware, or your environment has people that looks like you? So when you see the opposite, it kind of puts you in a mode of, they're saying survival, but it kind of puts you in a mode of feeling like it's the unknown. When you have something you don't really know about, so your initial reaction is fear or having your guards up. So that's what I got from that. That's what I took from it. Basically, you don't know me. So your first reaction is stay away, that's bad, or I don't know anything about this, so I'm just not even gonna look into it. And then I recently was talking to my brother about this as well. I don't know how we got on the topic, but he was also saying the same thing. He was working with a Caucasian guy, and he just wasn't used to being around black people. And when they continued working with each other and realized, hey, you're a human, I'm a human, we actually have some things in common, and he no longer saw race, he just saw that person, which was my brother. So I know that that's not always the case, but in my situation, also his as well, he experienced that. And like I said, it's different for different people. Like he's also experienced racism from Hispanic people, and so and that's not to like bash any one race or anything like that. I'm literally just giving examples of what I've experienced and what I've heard from my brother, who has also experienced certain things as well. But yeah, so type in the comments if you're comfortable, if you've experienced some type of racism, any type of racism. And please, no rude comments. We want to keep things civilized in the comments and respectful. Just keep in mind when you're writing your comments in. But also be real at the same time, which is possible. So, let me drink some water. I'm feeling parched. All right. I hope everyone is staying hydrated. I know there's some areas that are hot as I don't know what. I believe Texas and Las Vegas. So make sure you guys are staying hydrated. All right, let's just get into this. So I have a lot of cards here that I shuffled, and I'm gonna put this to the side because this is, oh, my hands are ashy and my lotion is far away. Sorry, y'all, my hands are ashy. I didn't notice. I can't really tell until I'm under the camera. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, hold on. All right, guys, I'm back. I think that's a little bit better. Okay. So I have cards here, which is goes into the healing part of it. So I'm just gonna set those to the side so that we can go to the question asked was, why does racism exist? So let's get into it. And I don't know what these cards are saying. I don't know what ancestor spirit our angels want to share with us today, our spirit guides. But let's take a look, okay? Just be open. Let's see. So the first question I wanted to ask, I have my archetype cards here, is the energy of racism. What does it look like? So, artist, okay. Samaritan. Wow. Bully. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is what racism looks like. This is the energy of racism, okay? So the first card, let's start with here, with bully. It says your tendency to intimidate others. Okay, so racism can be used to intimidate others, but it's also confronting the inner fears that bully you. So a lot of times they're saying racism happens or people express racist traits because of an inner fear that they have within themselves. So if you go deep down to the root of it, it has nothing to do with the person that they're showing racism towards. It has to do with themselves and how they feel deep down about themselves. There's something that they fear within themselves that they're not willing to take a look at. So then they express that fear onto you. Okay? Look what it says, the shadow attribute. It says, conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. So they're verbally abusive or physically abusive to a different race because of fears that they have within themselves. So people keep in mind that when someone is expressing racist traits, this can be difficult to ignore. However, realize that it's a problem that they have within themselves on why they're expressing this hate towards you. Something that they hate about themselves. Okay? Then we have the Samaritan here. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Shadow side, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. What I'm getting from this is sometimes one race will feel like another race is lower than them. And so in their mind, they would rather help, quote unquote, their own than help someone from another race. So I feel like with the Samaritan here, it's also going to preference. well, I prefer to be around my race, or I prefer to be around this race. I prefer to help this type of person. And if I help this other race, I want to be recognized for that. I want to get a pat on the back for it. So it's a lot of helping another race just for recognition, not out of the kindness of your heart. And it's also about wanting to just prefer to be around your own race and not around any other race. So it's giving me the card of like being closed-minded. And not realizing that just because someone is of a different race doesn't mean that there's not other traits that are similar between the two of you. See, in the card here, they're like twins. The only thing is that one is upside down, the other one is upright. So it's like looking at it from a different perspective. Yeah, you may come from a certain household or be a different color, but we're still one and the same. We still have blood flowing through us. We're still a person. We're still a human being. So essentially, the only difference is color. And is that really too much of a difference? All right, let's go to the next card, which is Artist. Expressing expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses. Inspiring others to see life symbolically. Shadow side of that. Using talent as an excuse to mistreat others. Posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. Okay, so with the Artist card, they're basically saying that racism paints a picture that you want to see. If you want to see that this other person of a different race is hostile, ignorant, violent towards you, or is capable of being violent towards you, then that is what it's going to show you. And that is what you're going to attract. So what I take from the Artist card is that when racism shows itself, it's basically the person thoughts playing out in real life. Whatever they think about it in their mind is going to play out in their reality. So if they feel like a certain race is this, that's what they're going to see. If you feel like a certain race is ignorant, that's what you're going to see from that race. Because that's what you expect to see. You're painting your own picture. It's not about what you see. It says it's beyond the five senses. It's not just about what you see. Because you could see a person of another race who's not ignorant. But because in your mind, that's what you've attached to this race, whether they're ignorant or not, that's what you're seeing. Okay? All right. That's that for the archetypes. Now let's go into the rest of the cards that defines why racism exists. We have dice, taking a risk, random results. We have bodybuilder, power, strength, forceful, determined. We have yoga, go within, steady, balance, take a break, inner child healing. Teacher, limits, no trespassing. desire. Put this here. I want you guys to see all the cards. Okay. Look at this. Refusing to see. Wow. We're going to get into it, guys. You know, a constant theme that I see in these cards are closed eyes. Okay? Closed eyes, the first thing I think about is living in an illusion. So let's start with these cards here. The refusing to see. Okay? And then you have the sun there. So sun for me represents swords, represents God. You're refusing to see God. And what I mean by that is, if you're, let's say you're religious and it says we're all made in the image of God. Okay, well, if we're all made in the image of God, then why are you going against someone who's of the same image of God? That's like going against God himself, right? So if you're refusing to see another person of a different race, then you're refusing to see God, because this person is an image of him. This person, she has her eyes closed. And if you see there, she's in concentration, but she's in concentration limited on one viewpoint. She's not keeping her mind open. And they're basically saying to focus on your heart center. Do not focus on the color you see. But focus on the feelings of the heart. Because all people are made in the image of God. And then they say here that you find a balance within yourself when you do this. Because when you're willing to see one race in the image of God and not see another race in the image of God, that's going to create an imbalance within you. Let's say half of the world was one race and half of the world was the other race, and you're just appealing to one half. The other half will suffer, won't it? It's the same thing. If you're only appealing to one race, or one race being superior than another race, then in your mind, in your body, in your soul, and in your spirit, you have an imbalance. That's why it says here, bodybuilder. And it's talking about your power, your strength. It also has domination there. So one race will try to overpower another race. Which they're saying there's no need for, because you just have to go within yourself. And they're saying that a lot of you who are racist have some inner child healing. You have to go within to solve this imbalance. It says balance chakras here. Okay? Because with this power card, you're trying to show your power towards another race. And I noticed also that what they're talking about here is that if another race has been oppressed by a certain race, they also feel like they need to overpower that race as well because they feel victimized by the other race. But they say this is not the case. You do not have to better yourself in order to overpower a race that you feel oppressed you. You just have to better yourself to better yourself. It's not about any other race. It's about you as an individual. This one is interesting here. The dice card. Taking a risk. Uncertain outcome. Playing the game. So they're also saying that racism is a part of this game that we're in, this matrix that we're in. And that if you play into it, you're taking a risk. And if you play into it, it says here random results. So remember when I said that if you're exhibiting racism, then you have an imbalance. And if you have an imbalance, you have a 50-50 chance of getting things right. You know, a lot of times people will say, well, why is this happening in my life? It's like a domino effect. If you're thinking one way against a certain human being because of their race, then you're attracting those energies to you. So in your own life, if certain things don't work out, that could be because of that imbalance of the energy of you being against a certain race. If you have the energy of imbalance, it's going to show up in your life in different ways. And in what this card is saying is you're taking a risk in your life. You're actually taking away from your power. So also here says racism exists because there have been, it's been passed down through generations and it's been taught. It's been taught that you have to set your boundaries, that you don't have any type of personal relationship with a certain race, or if you do have a relationship with a certain race, let's say you have to work with people of a certain race that you've been taught are bad or no good or whatever the case may be, and then they're also taught that, you know, you set your boundaries. These are not people that you make your friends. No trespassing means you can't come to my house, right? But it also here says that people have a desire and a longing, and I love how it has this beautiful black woman on the card, and she has like this beautiful vibrant orange. There's like blue in the background. I just love the color aspect of this card. And I feel like that goes to the point of appreciation for all races, no matter what the color. Because at the same time, like I just said here, the background is blue. It kind of looks like the sky color. Then you have her beautiful black skin. You have her eating this vibrant orange. And it's just this bright, vibrant color. And so if we're able to appreciate the rainbow with all the different colors, if we're able to look at a bowl of fruits and appreciate the yellow pineapples, the red apples, the oranges, but if we're not able to do that around people of the same species of us, like we're not all apples and oranges, we're human beings. And if we're not able to appreciate the different colors of ourselves, What is that saying? We can appreciate the different colors of fruits, nature, how beautiful the ocean is, how beautiful the trees are. Oceans and trees don't look the same. They're totally different. But they still come from God, right? So it says here, believe it or not, because a lot of you guys will be like, oh, come on. People who exhibit racist traits really desire and have a longing to know the other race. Because like I said in the beginning of the reading, deep down, it's not about the other person that they're going against. It's about a fear they have within themselves. Once they find out what that fear is and conquer that fear, those racist traits will go away. Because a lot of the times they just want to be accepted. Accepted by their own race, accepted by society, accepted by the world. And I don't mean accepted like getting a membership or anything like that. I mean accepted as in feeling worthy. Feeling like they're a part of something. Not feeling like they're weird or different. Because a lot of the times when people are exhibiting racist tendencies, racist traits, is because they don't feel normal. They feel different. They feel set apart. It's an insecurity within themselves. Okay, so we have these cards here. I noticed with ancestors, they wanted to talk more about what is happening rather than why it exists. They wanted to talk more about, well, I guess that why it exists is what people are doing. So they're exhibiting what people are doing as to why racism exists. It's a part of the matrix because we've made it a part of the matrix. Okay, so all right, I also wanted to see what was the life purpose of those who exhibit racist tendencies. So let's first start here. She's looking deep within herself to understand herself. And she wants to heal and let go of that part of herself that is no longer beneficial for her. Do you see how the clouds are clearing up? This is not a scene of, I know it looks vulgar, but this is not a scene of someone getting killed. This is a scene of someone being born again. Dying off a part of themselves that they don't wish to be there in order to embrace who they truly are. This is still the same person. But if you notice, some time has passed, her hair has gotten longer. She's dyed it, she wants to express more of her creativity. And she's embraced this wolf. She's embraced something different than her. And that goes to the same example I was using. We're able to embrace dogs, cats, snakes, whatever animal you have. But the person of the same species as us, we have a hard time accepting. Please make it make sense. All right, so it says here, the life purpose of those who have racist traits or exhibit racist tendencies. They have this because they need to educate themselves. They need to educate themselves on the history of racism. They need to educate themselves on the opposite race. Most likely they were the opposite race in their past lives. So essentially they're reading about themselves. They're also, their life purpose is also to share light and love. Because once they heal that part of themselves, they're able to express love in a more open way. And they also express sensitivity, so they're not used to change. They're not used to change. And so this is getting them in a mindset where they realize change is inevitable. How does change relate to racism? If you change your mindset and change how you view people, and you create a balance within yourself, you're going to be sensitive to the energies around you, because now you're in balance. Now you're in alignment. So you're able to recognize things right away. If there's energies around you that are negative, you're going to recognize that right away, no matter what race it is. Because now at this point, race it doesn't play a role. It's just about energy. And if that person or whatever thing it is, whatever energy it is affecting you negatively, then you have to do something and change that. Okay? All right, so let's see the cards on what they say we need to do to heal racism. What do we need to do to heal racism? Oh, work together. Work together. We got infinite abundance, overcoming obstacles, redirect your energy. I was just talking about energy. Redirect your energy. Your energy does not need to be going towards, I don't know this person, I don't like this person because they're this color. That's a waste of energy. They're saying overcome those obstacles. Once you do that, infinite abundance. Okay, here's be willing to express love. Express love to receive love. Honesty is essential. Speak with love and truth. Take a chance on love. When we love, our lives are changed forever. Okay? So they're saying that all we need is love. Okay? Speak with love. Let your words be words of love. Express love. Show your love. Take a chance. Just see what it's like. If there's another race that you've been having certain thoughts about or wasn't into, or whatever the case may be, step out of the box. And let's say you have a neighbor of a race that you've been kind of like, oh, I don't know. Get up one morning, see them outside, say good morning to your neighbor, say hi to your neighbor. See what happens. Express love through gifts. Same thing I just said. A small token of love can convey great appreciation. Just by saying hello can show great appreciation. Treasure your loved ones. It's important to love others deeply. Look at that card. It has the World card there. Look at that. It shows the world and it's so small. Ancestors say explore your creative side. Talking about energy, re-energize your life. Here we go again. Clear those negative energies that you have. Be in a positive space. They're saying that your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels will be better able to talk to you, because at this time, with that imbalance, they cannot come through in the way that they want to. Here we go again about showing just a nice gesture. We gotta make a meal here. Aromatherapy, movement. Do things for yourself that make you feel good. Be in a space of feel good rather than a space of abuse or wanting to display being closed off. Don't do that. Release the old. Release the old way of thinking. See beyond what's going on right now. So you could be on the news and see something that's going on with this other race, and don't place any judgment on that. Just see beyond current situations. And if you can, do something about it. You actually can do something about it in your small ways. You can't go on a large scale. Just be nice to each other. Taking charge with authority doesn't necessarily mean telling people what to do. It says here that you guys are being tricked. You guys are being tricked by the Matrix and thinking that racism actually exists. It only exists because you say it exists. If you all be kind to each other, racism disappears. Release it. Release those negative traits. Because deep down, that's really how you're feeling. It's raining, you feel all alone. That fear, this is what that fear looks like, that inner fear. That has nothing to do with the other race. That's how it looks deep down. Look at that. Destiny. Just so happens two people kneeling down. One is wearing black, the other one is wearing white. It is their destiny to be soulmates. It is the destiny for us to come together. How long that takes to happen depends on us. Okay? All right. And that is the reading, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a message. All right. It's my goddess, Chrissy. I didn't want to make this too long because I noticed that sometimes I can ramble, and I don't want to ramble too much on my videos. But please make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, share, and continue to show love in your life, no matter who it is. Continue to show love. All right? Overcome those obstacles. There you go. All right, till next time. See you guys. Bye.